Mind to mindfulness to inner peace. That's what I changed the title now. So we have been talking all about the mind, and mind. So what should we, you can mute your device so that you can hear it. There will be no disturbance. And once we share the experience, then you can unmute your phone. So,
it's muted. It is now. Remember, he always mutes it.
And after completing one online session, a thought came to my mind that we understand. Every human being has an intellect. So we understand meditation, mindfulness, we understand the principles. So what is lacking? I recalled what my master used to say. Oh, you understand everything, but still that I, the small I, the ego, doesn't accept what we understand. And that is the biggest obstacle in the success of meditation. Now we have our partners. So do we say that I understand you are my wife or you are my husband? I understand you are my son. I understand you are my father. We accepted it. You see that? Knowledge 1, understanding the principle. You can say knowledge 101. Then 102 is understanding. 103 is the practice and experience the change. And 104, acceptance never comes even by years of practice. How can I accept that I am the peace and happiness? I am the love and wisdom. And that creates a barrier, a wall, a veil. So what we need to do is knowledge 101, understanding the principle. Knowledge 102, understanding. I'm trying to be the American way. And 103 is that a regular contemplation, regular reflection in your head. So that is also a practice. And then you have a regular practice in the morning and evening or in the afternoon whenever you have a time. So what happens? There is a fundamental change in the mind. I'm cautious using these words. What is that fundamental change? The nature of the mind at this time is to move and influenced by the dualities. Why? The world is made up of pairs of opposites, likes and dislikes, pain and the pleasure, love and the hate, all these dualities are there. Now the mind is influenced by it. So what happens? It is the mind that works in our life. Through the mind we work. So that, what is the fundamental change happens in mindfulness? Now this mind is not at all affected and influenced by these pairs of opposites because it has found something higher. It is not indifference. The moment it perceives the duality, and the mind also looks at the oneness. And what is that oneness? The peace and the happiness, love and the wisdom. That is our true nature. Now we start understanding, four noble truth and eightfold noble path. And what the Buddha said, know thyself. Self-discovery. So one more point of understanding that you should keep in your head, in your heart, in your action this week and see what happens. First the knowledge and understanding. The skull, crazy skull. This understanding, when it drops into the heart, the acceptance comes. And now the acceptance is there. Now it translates into action. Before the beginning, we were just, and Paul were talking. So now see that how masters speak about it. Take the word lightly. Finished. There will be differences. There will be likes and dislikes. There will be pain and pleasure. That is the very nature of the world. And the mind in ignorance is attached to these dualities. The mind has created the dualities and mind is attached to the dualities, and the mind says, no, this is you. You see that you are suffering because of others, because of son, because of father, because of mother, daughter, spouse, and friend and employer. And now we are totally under the influence of what is we know? Maya. To get rid of that Maya, to keep at a distance, is what the mindfulness is. You cannot destroy this world. And the same thing, the world cannot destroy me. It is very clear. But I keep it at a distance. So when I keep it at a distance, means I play a role in the world outside and live into the state of mindfulness within. So the challenges are bound to come. Last point, and then was the challenges are bound to come. That's the nature of the world. So what the master says, how you perceive the world. If you take the world for the sake of a pleasure, pain is bound to return. For profit, loss will return. Victory, defeat will come. See that? Now, the second way of doing it, the other way of doing it, let me use this world for my evolution. Let me use this world to perfect my state of meditation. No, mind says no, that is not possible. You know how the master discovered, take an example of Buddha, how they discovered the Eightfold Noble Path. So what it says, someone dislikes you and your mind understands that disliking. It creates a kind of a hatred. Buddha says, right knowledge, don't get affected. So you are using the world for the sake of your evolution, patience, kindness, compassion. So it has to be contemplated and reflected within. When it is now you can even take, there is a problem in the body, indifference. But at the same time, you're taking care of it. But don't claim that you are the body and that is why you are suffering. If when you are the body, you are suffering. And now see that when you look closely, the Eightfold Noble Path, the right view, right knowledge, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort. First, 6. Right mindfulness and right samadhi. Now reverse this. Start with the right samadhi, right mindfulness, and then comes all the 6 steps. Nothing will happen. So that is why I talk. That is why I help your mind to understand these principles. You cannot reverse this. It cannot happen. No, the last one is the samadhi, the highest state of meditation. And the seventh is, so that becomes the first. Then what we do? We take an easy path. Okay, close your eyes, focus on the breath, and you are already in mindfulness. That will not work. It will work. It will give you some piece of relaxation, but there is no fundamental change. Once you return, oh, let me focus on the breath again. Yes, it will relax. But relaxation alone is not mindfulness, my friends. It's a fundamental change. It's a transformation. What is transformation? That it is irreversible process. Your mind may be saying, you don't know how much problem I have in my life. You don't understand. So the existence is giving you much more problem than others because the existence loves you. That idea, that concept, that contemplation and reflection pulls you down. And use the same event as an opportunity to rise above. You start with the meditation. But it doesn't happen until we purify the mind. Let us do the practice today in a different way. Close your eyes. Close your eyes and be comfortable. Yeah, you already see that the PET preparatory step is almost the same. What is that? Be comfortable. So being comfortable has experience, knowledge, and an idea to change the mind. That is why I use the three words. First, look at the neck joint. Who looks? Mind. You feel the sensation. You see, experience. What is the knowledge? Being comfortable. When you know you are comfortable, yes. And the third point is stillness, steadiness. Why steadiness? I've been talking. Indirectly, you are affecting the mind. If there is nobody, mind cannot do any action. So we are telling the mind, there is nobody. Nobody. Look at the shoulder joints. Feel the sensation, being comfortable, and steadiness. Hip joint, you feel the sensation, being comfortable, and steadiness. The entire body. It's not that, every time we have to look at all the joints, that makes you habitual. The moment you feel, even with a one joint, there is a clear experience, knowledge of sensation, being comfortable and stillness. Look at the entire body, it is done. So as we discussed and understood about the world, the pairs of opposites, that is the impurity in the mind. So we need to purify the mind. Many ways. We'll do it today in totally a different way. So what you do, first look inside your head in the space. In the state of being comfortable, sensation and steadiness in the body. You're looking deep inside the forehead in the space. Okay. And keep looking into the space and start breathing quick, fast and short breath from the chest. and stop it, experience the change, and also discover how the mind is responding to this step. The mind may respond with reaction, resistance, a kind of sleepiness, that is a sense of forgetfulness, avoidance, and ignorance. See that? So many things happening in the mind. And that is how the teacher helps you. There is other side of the experience. Oh, I breath, I feel a kind of freshness, the mind is withdrawn inside. Now see, there are two changes, two experiences. The one experience of resistance, reaction, avoidance, ignorance, sleepiness means that I have yet to become a seeker. So you don't use the breath, going into the science, there is more oxygen consumption and release of carbon dioxide and it influences, that's okay. But when you're doing the practice, focus on the principles of Eastern wisdom. That is important. You don't work to increase the oxygen concentration in meditation. Your goal is to find out fundamental change in the mind, transformation, peace, happiness. Now we will do 1 minute again, and this time we will see that if there is any resistance, avoidance, ignorance comes, we don't listen to the mind, we will continue doing it. Start breathing quick and fast and short from the chest, through the nostrils, keeping the body steady. And stop it. Experience what is happening deeper inside at the mind. And if you find out the mind has accepted, that is the word I used in the beginning. I understand, but I don't accept. When I don't accept, there is a reaction, resistance, and all these stuff. Let us move to the next step, which is again it's a common step that I had been giving you, and after that we'll have new steps. Look at the head and the neck. So don't start thinking that today if I do for 5 minutes of the breathing and your body is not trained, your mind is not, it will lead you to the frustration. I think in a couple of weeks before I told you that the seed cannot become a tree overnight. Slow, steady wins the race. By understanding, so looking at the head and the neck, feel the sensation, experience relaxation and stillness in the body. We are making sure that this mind should not move outside, but in a very gentle, indirect, and a softer manner, not fighting with the mind. Mind says, I will go out. You say what you say. Look at the right arm. Feel the sensation, relaxation and stillness. Move the mind on the left arm. Feel the sensation, relaxation and stillness. Look at the rib cage in the front and the back. Sensation, relaxation, and stillness. At this time, we are not doing anything. Why? We don't want the doer should enter into this step. If the doer and the enjoyer do not enter, you're already there. Yeah, but it takes time. The belly and the lower spine. Sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Mind goes to the right leg. It becomes aware. It sees, it perceives, and then it experiences sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Look at the left leg, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. The entire body. Sensation, relaxation, and stillness. The entire body. So if we say that we have achieved that state of sensation, relaxation, and stillness, as if it is outside, at the level of the body, that will help the mind to move within. But it takes time. The mind starts cooking the story deeper inside, returning to the past, the memories, the worries, the regrets, the duality and the conflict. We start playing with it. So let us take care of that. Again, look deep inside the forehead in the space. Okay. You look deep inside the forehead in the space. We will use a one-syllable mantra, just giving you a very brief idea. So looking deep inside the forehead in the space, and the mantra is aim, mentally, without changing the rate and the rhythm of the breath and changing the position of the body, keeping it in the state of sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Keep looking deep inside the forehead in the space and start hammering mentally the single syllable mantra, mentally, not loudly. No movement of the lips. What's happening? The mind is working on the mind. Continue. Any thought comes, hammer it with aim. There should not be a single thought between the two aim. It is so fast, quick, and loud in your head. And then I'll give you some understanding that may be a revelation for you. Just do it. Continue. Quick, fast and loud in your head. Keep looking into the space. We are filtering out what is not desired. And now stop it, experience the change. This is a very lower form of the practice. Why? Because when the mind is not listening, it claims it has understood, and still there is no change. Lower. Still there are many lower levels of the practice. So just experience. And if you experience the mind tends to become empty, you have a glimpse of it. Yeah, I could see that. So when you have that awareness and a knowledge, it has worked. Otherwise, we have to go still lower. But we are going higher. Now, in this state, looking deep inside the forehead, change the recitation of aim. It should be in a singing mode, mentally. And keep looking into the space as if the mind is moving deep into the space without the help of the breath. Don't associate. So it becomes a flow. Other thought that enters into the mind, they merge into that flow of. Continue. We'll get today a clear understanding of one syllable mantra and the two syllable, how these mantras were discovered and then validated by our great masters. We are using the mantra in a form to lead to the emptiness. Let us see. Any thought enters? No worries. No thought comes? It's alone. You become a singer. You know what happens? Singing certain music, the mind gets absorbed. So the master says you have to adjust and align the pattern of these mantras that fits, that suits your mind to change. So this step is higher than the previous one. And now stop singing. Just experience the change. You know, that's why I always said regular practice with wisdom. You delete with wisdom and you continue to practice, nothing happens. I can tell you. And now look at the breath. The breath goes in, drop aim. Breath comes out, drop aim. Now see that from the lower to the higher, still this step is higher than the previous two steps. And see that the mind is enjoying, dropping aim on the breath. And sometimes you experience there is a kind of absorption. You are there. Sometime you will experience there is a kind of sleepiness. You are not there. You know it, what is happening. Continue. And stop this aim also. So you have understood and did the practice at 3 levels, the lower, the higher. And the next step is still higher than the 3 steps. And we start with the higher one without purifying the mind. What is the higher step? Just look at the breath that is going in and out, feeling the sensation. No change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath. So majority of the people say focus on the breath and that becomes mindfulness. Did Buddha said this? Why we focus? Focus is an effort. Why effort? Because other thoughts are moving. Why they are moving? The impurity in the mind. Did we purify the mind? Every master says no. So let me reach to the higher step. Oh, just focus. No focus. Just looking at the breath. Going in and out, feeling the sensation. Just 3-pointed awareness and no change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath. They are still higher level. But we'll stop here. The 4 stages. And stop it, do nothing. Now see that based on the temperament and the level of a seeker of meditation, the lower form I told you, hammering. Even there are other steps lower than that. But based on the temperament. Based on the level of the mind. Highly intelligent may have to go to the lower one. But there is another way. Instead of single syllable mantra, we used a 2-syllable mantra following the 4 steps. That's another diversion. It's all about personalization. So looking deep inside the forehead, in the space, and this time the 2-syllable mantra is Soham. So you're looking into the space and start hammering Soham, 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 Soham mentally. Soham, 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 Soham. Click, quick, fast and loud. It is so quick, it is so fast, it is so loud in your mind that not a single thought enters into your head because you're very quick, fast. You don't give us space. Continue. Soham, 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 Soham. Soham, 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 Soham. That Soham is happening in the state of sensation, relaxation and stillness. It is happening. And stop this step. Just experience the change. So then there are 2-syllable mantra, there are 3-syllable mantra, and there is a clear understanding behind it. Some people need only 1 syllable, other people will need 2 syllables. It's a group session, so that's why just experience the change. And now let's have the same singing. So hum. But you keep looking deep inside the forehead in the space. Because when that understanding is very clear in the mind, it will fall down into the heart and there will come an acceptance. And that acceptance will lead you to an experience of the inner peace and happiness. So hum. You sing in your own way. The existence accepts everything. We need not to be a singer. Remember this. Never allow your mind to be swayed away by the preferences, by the incomplete understanding that happens in the mind. How to do that? So hum. So hum. Continue. Now stop this also step. Do nothing. Now check that you have a deeper experiences. The sensation, relaxation and stillness continues. And something deeper, a state of the calmness and the quietness. And still the acceptance doesn't come. What acceptance? That I am the peace and happiness. So we will move to the third stage, means the higher step than the previous two. The breath goes in, soham, drop the soham, breath comes out, drop soham. In that state, soham, just like a drop of water. Have you seen water, a single drops with a flick of an, movement of the eyelid. That is how you drop soham. Why? We'll understand that. Soham. You do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. No change. You are not the doer. Only doer is you simply drop and drop in a fraction of a second, that doer and the enjoyer do not return. If they do not return, the mind goes inside. In that state of sensation, relaxation and stillness, the mind living within, looking into the space, aware of the breath going in and you're dropping soham, soham, soham. It should be very clear this step is higher than the previous two steps of hammering and singing. That you are minimizing the role of a doer. That is the biggest block, obstacle. And I will stop this. So I'm also simply awareness of the breath, 3-pointed awareness. Make it 4 today. First point of awareness, you know the breath is going in and out. Simply you know it. So what do you have to do by knowing it? Nothing. You feel the sensation, that is by default. You don't change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. You simply need to maintain awareness. And we have been looking into this space at the 4th point. Every time the breath goes in, become aware of the infinite space inside, awareness of the infinite space out. So now this step is higher than all the previous steps and stronger. Why? We use the two-word mantra. That's a long story. We'll take up that later. Continue. Do nothing. Remain as you are in that state. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside. Bring the hands down. Unmute your device and let us share our experiences today. How are you, Paul?
Doing well. That was very peaceful.
That's wonderful. And how are you, Priscilla?
I kept listening to you and remembering what you said, that being peaceful is not the same as being aware. So I don't know. I got lost in this rectangle. I don't know what I was doing, but my mind just kept going to this rectangle.
So your mind was not ready to listen to me. It was listening to itself.
Then I would come back to the Soham and then I would go away for a bit, but then my mind came back to
triangle.
Rectangle.
Rectangle. Yes.
Yeah, it was good. It was just different,
It was different. Yeah. Sometimes it happens because of the inner state of the mind. But you're calm.
Yes.
Calm and peace. That's really good. How are you, Terry? You have to talk with a smile.
What?
You have to speak with a smile.
I feel like my meditation was good, but my body was not cooperating.
Don't worry about it. If the meditation is good, okay. Let the body, leave the body as it is.
I don't know whether to, try to control it and fight it, just let it, just ignore it.
Do I ignore my neighbor? Because if the neighbor is in my consciousness, then I need to ignore it. If the neighbor is in my mind, then I have to ignore it or accept it. But if the neighbor is not in my mind, there is neither ignorance, there is neither attachment. So when the mind rises above the body, you don't even need to ignore it. You are okay. Do you ignore your body in deep sleep? So, see the point of meditation. How are you, Maria?
I am completely peaceful.
Completely peaceful? You have to remain peaceful.
I was very happy.
Wonderful.
And really.
Good.
Very much.
I was waiting for you.
Thank you.
Well, now, what is our last... Sir? How are you, sir?
You are asking me, sir?
Yeah, people call me in India. People in India call me sir. And
yes.
The meaning of the sir in Hindi means head. And I say I am not sir, I am feet. So please, sir, what is the...
Sir, it was just I forgot my body.
That's
and
good.
I was looking at my thoughts, and only this portion is totally cool, and I was enjoying it.
Yeah, you have been doing it regularly, and that's why it is bringing that result.
Yes. Sir.
We are already doing 2 sessions a week online, so that's also another reason, but that's really good. So, any question? No question?
Too many questions.
Too many questions? Compress into one single question. And what is that single question? To know myself.
How can I maintain awareness?
Who has asked this question?
Me, Kusala.
And who is this me? It is awareness who has asked this question. That is your answer.
Thank you.
Without awareness, you cannot ask any question. Can you? No. So, maintain that awareness. But yes, on the other hand, the greater the purification of the mind, which is not affected by the dualities and the pairs of opposites, that is experienced in the mind, you are able to maintain your awareness. So the ultimate result is we have to work on the mind. When we work on the mind, we are already aware. When the mind works on us, we are not. Simple. No, I don't teach, it's all teaching from these crazy masters who passed on this wisdom. So I have to do nothing. So, okay, thank you. We will meet again next week.
Next week out.
Oh.